10 to 12,000 sandhill cranes and 30 to 40,000 white snow geese, and we already have 30 to 40,000 migratory ducks on the refuge right now. This is dawn when the refuge comes to life. I get out here before, right about first light, which is about 5:30 these days. We've got about 1,000 snow geese sitting out here on the water, and they'll get themselves organized and head out to farm fields over the next half hour or so. And they'll be out there most of the morning, and then they'll come back in here and low for a rest on this marsh area right in front of us here. Over there you can see little groups of sandhill cranes that do not operate in the huge clouds of geese or clouds of birds like the geese do. The cranes come down here as family units. They hang out together as family units all winter long, and then they'll head back north to their nesting grounds about the end of February. There could be 1,000 geese out there without a whole lot of problem. Right over there, we got two loops. There's a marsh loop, which goes down around that way, and there'll be more wet areas down in there. And then there's a farm loop, and each of them is about 6 miles long, and all of these cranes here are sandhill crane.
Ever any whooping cranes ever get in here?
No whooping cranes left in the whole Rocky Mountain Flyway.
Really?
Yeah. There's a lot of activity going on with whooping cranes in the east for the last several years. The last 2 years, I think. They have flown groups of whooping cranes from an already existing National Wildlife Refuge in Wisconsin behind ultralight aircraft down to an already existing National Wildlife Refuge in Florida called Chesapeake NWR. And there's a website called bringbackthecranes.org, all lowercase, one word, bringbackthecranes.org, and that will tell you anything and everything, and probably more than you would ever want to know about.
I'll check that out.
About sandhill cranes and whooping cranes.
Yeah.
This is a great time of day.
Yes, it is.
See and hear this place come along. When you see them all get up at one time like that, there's generally a reason for it, because they don't all get up at one time like that just because they don't have anything else to do. And what the problem was is that in this top of this snag right out here in front of us, there's a juvenile bald eagle sitting right there in the top of that tree right there.
Oh, wow.
Now, he doesn't have a pure white head and a pure white tail, because it takes a bald eagle 5 years to get that pure white head and pure white tail. And this bird is a first-year bald eagle. So he's just a big, dark, shaggy bird that doesn't look like much like what he will look like in 5 years. Mexico has nesting golden eagles in the state, but the nesting bald eagles you can count on probably less than one hand.
My name is Cheryl Parmley, and I'm from Connecticut. And we came out here to see the birds, how many there were, and to take great pictures.
Oh, do you come out all this way just for these?
Sorry.
They lifted off those.
It's like mallards.
Did you miss them?
Oh, did I miss the photo? Well, the photograph wouldn't have been too good with the landing in the way.
Oh, sorry.
I guess I was in the wrong location for that shot. This is the first time I've been to a birding sanctuary, so for me it's fantastic. But this is supposed to be one of the best in the country.
My name's Tom Socek. I'm from Anchorage, Alaska, and I'm a wildlife photographer. And Bosque is one of the most famous places in the lower 48 states for birds, and that's why we're here. We know we're early, but you know, you're not in New Mexico every day, so the place we're going to go to is Bosque. For the snow geese, you want to come later, from what we understand, about 3 weeks from now, all the way through January. And so we'll be back.
I'm Renee Socek, and I'm from Anchorage, Alaska also. I'm here with my husband, who's a photographer, a wildlife photographer, but I'm just here to observe and to watch all the people. And the birds are wonderful.
Now, what I'm doing is just putting except for the eagles, you know.
It's fascinating to watch as they land or they come in, and when they're flying in formation, you can see them dodge each other, and that's really neat. When that eagle came in, those geese moved.
Do they just fly from one pond to the other, or do they take off and...
Well, talking to that biologist over there, he said that it sounded to me like they take off, especially the cranes, and then go out into the fields.
And they're nothing but the veins of the feathers sticking out. And if you get close enough to see their faces look like they've got mange or something.
What do they have?
I don't have a clue. And I'm trying. That's one thing. I'm trying to get us some decent photographs,
Okay.
close enough to give us some that I can take to some people who know a whole lot more about this kind of stuff than I do. Can get around, and apparently has a mate, and and she is healthy looking and has just the darker gray patches on their forehead.
Mm-hmm.
And the juvenile birds don't have the bright red patch. Okay, there's an adult bird right in the center of the picture with a juvenile bird right behind it. Notice on the bird in front that you can see the bright red patch on the forehead, and the juvenile bird behind it has got brown feathers on the top of its head and down the back of its neck. Can you see that?
Right.
Okay.
Actually, now they're side by side. You can see it very well.
Yeah, yeah.
You want to take a look?
Definitely.
They're side by side now.
There are not many birds that, I'm not an ornithologist, so I can't say with any certainty, but I don't know of another bird that where the parents spend 9 months getting one offspring ready to face the world.
Right.
And they come down here as families. They hang out together here as families all winter long, and then they'll head back north together late February, first week of March or so. And they won't go in one fell swoop. A lot of times they'll go and maybe hang out for a few days at maybe a place like Monte Vista, NWR, in southern Colorado grounds, which for most of these birds is southeastern Idaho, a national wildlife refuge called Gray's Lake, NWR. And some of them spill over into western Wyoming, southwestern Montana.
So not way up in the Canada.
No, not these guys. Now, the lesser sandhill cranes, the little guys that I'm talking about, which we have only a handful. Well, we've got a bunch right now, so to speak, but in another couple of weeks, most of them will move on, and we will have a few lessers with us through the winter. But right now, we've got a whole bunch of them. I haven't seen one right out here this morning, but they are the ones that gather at the Platte River in Nebraska by the tens of thousands, and some of them having flown 600 miles just to get there. And then they have tracked some of the lesser sandhill cranes leaving the Platte River, and some of them go up into the Hudson Bay area, and some of them go up into the Canadian Arctic, exactly where you're talking about. Some of them go across and through the Northwest Territories into Alaska. Some of them nest along the Copper River Delta and that kind of neck of the woods. And but some of them go across the Bering Straits and into Siberia, and some of them go another 1,000 miles after they cross the Bering Straits before they stop and build a nest. They have satellite tracked these guys, and it's just phenomenal that these little guys. All right, there goes the eagle. The eagle just launched. He's going to the left there. Yeah, see the ducks? And he can take one in midair if he is so inclined. Being a juvenile, he may not have his hunting skills, but look at the ducks and look at the geese getting up down there. The eagle is right at the horizon. The big dark bird is flying directly away from us. But you notice the cranes didn't move. They hardly even looked up. But oh, look at the ducks dropping into this you can't tell what it's. You see there? Watch it where they drop in and splash.
That was fantastic.
Okay, the eagle is still with us there. He's right above the horizon.
Yeah, coming back this way a little
That's
bit.
right, coming back to the right. I have seen eagles drop down off of perches and look at this. Look, see, he's back up on the perch now.
Wow, that was sensational.
When these cranes migrate down here, and there are records of golden eagles particularly swooping up and coming up below and from the side of these cranes and just raking them with these huge talons, and it's mortally wounded, and then it just goes down, and he just waits for it
They
to.
just wait, kind of like a white shark.
Yeah.
Big hit, and then just hang out and wait for it.
That's right. And but I have also seen bald eagles drop off that perch and just kind of swoop down and snatch up a duck so smooth that I didn't even know whether he had anything until he got back to the perch and started taking it apart.